TFA fam, what is up? It is week 16. It is championship day. We've already had 4 games starting off. Hopefully you didn't get Alvin Kamara. Hopefully you didn't get Mike Evans. Hopefully you're still still have a chance to get into it. We know there's going to be a bunch of you that are coming here for the A-Rob jersey. We're still giving that away, but I do want to say right off the top that we are new to this and we kind of screwed up. We didn't realize that YouTube wouldn't show us the entire list of all of our recent subs. Like they only show certain ones depending on your privacy setting. Realize that wouldn't be fair to all of you who have subscribed that we didn't see, because we know, like I was able to rattle off a bunch of like, oh, I'm not seeing this person, this person, this person. So what I did, took the list of the people who have recently subscribed, and then I went back since December, went through all of our comments on the videos we posted, all of our live shit, got all the comments from you guys who have been commenting on all of our stuff, which we obviously appreciate. That is going to go into this list. I have a randomizer set up and ready to go, and then we are going to give away another jersey on Wednesday for the Wednesday live show. So giving away the A-Rob jersey now. If you want to be in the Wednesday drawing, all you got to do, just drop a comment. That's it. Just drop a comment so we can track it, and then we're going to give away another jersey on the Wednesday live show. We'll be going live at 10 p.m. Any questions for people who have the Week 17 championship, we will answer your questions then. We're going to go over some other stuff, but we'll give away another jersey. Obviously don't have that one yet, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy it off of Pristine Auction, and then I'm just going to ship it straight to you. So that's how we're going to do it. So again, giving away the A-Rob jersey now, and then if you still want to be entered to win another one, that is going to be Wednesday. All you got to do, just drop a comment that says giveaway, jersey, sub, whatever. Just drop a comment. You will automatically be entered for the Wednesday giveaway. So with that out of the way, let me throw this up. All right. So here it is. Here is the list. Like I said, just going to use this, the comment picker here. Where's the... okay, here we go. So here it is. Just going to hit start. Whoever's at the top of the list is going to get the A-Rob jersey. We still have shirts we're going to give away too as well. So make sure you stick around for that. And if your name is picked, make sure you drop a comment and get a hold of us. You can get a hold of us on Instagram, on Twitter. You can hit Kev up. You can hit me up. Or you can, if you don't have any of those, because we know that some of you are out there who don't have any of those social media, you can email us at thefantasyauthority1@gmail.com. So with that out of the way, here we go. Your Allen Robinson signed jersey winner is... Oh, look at this. Larry. Fucking Larry is the winner. So, like I said, Larry, make sure that you hit us up, get a hold of us. We'll go through the sub list in the comments and make sure we find the correct Avi for you. Make sure you drop a comment on this video. Reach out to us. Like I said, the fantasy FF_authority on Twitter, the Fantasy Authority on Instagram, and then the Fantasy Authority 1@gmail if you have to email us. And boom goes the dynamite. There it is. Larry. Good old Lair Bear. Kev, say what's up, and we'll start getting into this.
We made it. Week 16, right? Finally made it to the finals, and hopefully everybody made it. And like I said, hopefully people didn't have to play Alvin Kamara, which I had the luxury of doing in one of our in my home league, and it's an uphill battle. We'll see what happens, and it's not over, right? I mean, you've seen plenty of weeks where guys like Tyler Lockett week where he scored 50, and where people were able to overcome that. It's just you're just gonna have to run hot this week to be able to overcome that. Obviously, that's pretty much like basically, getting 56 points, 6 touchdowns. And the messed up part of the whole thing was, too, is that he could have had 7. But fucking Sean Payton decided to let Taysom Hill run one in from the 1. Why? I don't know. He could have had the record, but whatever. It's obviously pretty unfortunate for anybody playing him. But let's hope we can run hot and overcome that. Or if you had him, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, your goal in life should be to love somebody the way that Sean Payton loves Taysom Hill. That is just an undying love that that he has there. Kyle, appreciate the kind words. Eric, we did not do the prop video this week. This is not it. This is just the Game Day show. Make sure you check our Twitter. Tom will be posting his picks here shortly. My wife and kid were sick, and then Tom was forced to spend time with his wife, so we did not get to do a prop video last night. But like I said, Tom will be tweeting out his picks at Dynasty Infidel on Twitter if you want to go. Go ahead.
Are you guys going to be doing one next week for Week 17?
Yeah, we're planning on doing them for Week 17 and through the playoffs. But
nice,
like I said, with the wife and kids sick, and then Tom, was it's Christmas time. He was spending time with his wife last night, so no prop video. We'll be sure to hit that one Week 17 and then through the playoffs as well. And we might be doing multiple videos depending on how the schedule breaks. So that out of the way, let's get right into a couple of these questions, and then we'll do a giveaway for a TFA T-shirt as well. Aiden wants to know David Johnson or Mike Davis.
I'm gonna go with David Johnson. So we know Duke Johnson is out this week, so he is going to get the majority of all the work going against Cincinnati. Good matchup. The thing with Mike Davis is that they've been wanting to use a little bit more of some of their other backs now that they're out of the playoffs. So we've seen Rodney Smith get more opportunities lately, and so I just have to lower. You just have to lower them down a little bit. What you expect. They are also going against one of the better defenses in all football too. So in Washington, so I'm going David Johnson.
Yep, you said it perfectly. I'm going to go DJ here as well. I just do not like that. I don't like that matchup for Davis. And like you mentioned, Ronnie Smith has been getting involved for the past couple of days, and especially taking away targets as well as carries. So DJ for me, Aiden, good luck to you. Bauer, let us know who some of your wide receiver options are to get you that boom week. Maybe some waiver options as well. Trying to think of, are there any you can think of on the top of your head, Kev? Just like some guys who might be available. I mean, Sammy Watkins, I guess, he's been relatively available and on waivers. You can look at him as kind of boom bust. I feel like that week is coming at some point. I heard you guys talking on the DFS show that you've kind of been playing him almost every week, waiting for that week to hit. Here we go.
I'm here.
Nate, what's up?
I was too busy partying like it's 1,999 subscribers.
Yeah, you missed it, bud.
What's going on?
What's up, man?
Oh, just tilting my face off,
You go up against Kamara?
Oh, no, I have Kamara, and made the brilliant decision to start Brandon Ayuk instead of Jeff Wilson yesterday. So that went terribly.
I thought you were starting Wilson and sitting Ayuk for Lockett.
That was the original plan, and then I decided.
You fucking tinkered.
Yeah, I then there was the news that Zeke might not play, so I put Pollard in, and yeah, it's been an epic fail for about 24 straight hours here. So listen to my advice, everyone else out there.
Don't tinker.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Bauer, let us know who some of your options are like I said, Sammy Watkins comes to mind, who might be available. I guess you could go and pick up one of those practice squad Cleveland Browns with all the Browns hitting the COVID list. Marvin Hall is out there. Derek Willis, I know, had a couple of games. I think Baker's rookie year where he put up some production. But give us some options, and then we'll be able to help you out a little bit better. Harry 2K going along with the Browns. Kareem Hunt or Dare Ogunbowale?
It's definitely Kareem Hunt. They're going to have to lean on Kareem Hunt and use him as a pass catcher. I mean, I could see them lining him up out there in the slot as well and utilizing him more as a pass catcher, getting them both on the field much more here. I mean, they're going to have a who's who of wide receivers today with, I believe, Kaderil Hodge being their number one. And then you'll probably have Marvin Hall on the other side, so who they just signed recently. So Kareem Hunt is a locked-in top 20 running back now with all these wide receivers out for them. I mean, it's still not a matchup that you're afraid they're going to lose. I mean, they're still playing the Jets, and obviously the Jets do not want to win any more games.
Yeah, I mean, he may never come off the field this game. Last week he was around 35%, which is a season low, but he might have to play running back and wide receiver the whole game.
Yeah, you're sticking with Hunt there.
For sure.
So here are, Kev, I think it's picking up the webcam mic or just your computer mic. You sound a little spacey. No? Just does not sound like your normal sultry sexual voice.
It's normal.
No? Did you take something out of the room? Just sounds like there's an echo. Maybe it's me. All right. Well, anyway, here are Bauer's options at receiver. Like he said, he got hit with that Alvin Kamara game, needs a boom wide receiver. So who do we like out of this group between Lockett, Watkins, Cody, and Higgins? Not T. Higgins. We can cross him off the list.
Watkins, Lockett, Cootie, Higgins. Well, there's a world in which Tyler Lockett has a lot of targets this week. DK is probably going to get the Ramsey treatment, so he could end up being the de facto primary target receiver there. It is a strong Rams defense, though, so I'm not sure how often the Seahawks are going to be on the field, though. But that's probably the biggest boom bust of the week. I think he could have the highest ceiling of that group.
Kev, who do you like here?
Definitely Lockett. If you're looking for a boom, I mean, he's got the ultimate upside, right? He also has the best matchup. Going against the Rams, you probably expect DK Metcalf to exclusively see Jalen Ramsey the entire game. So it should open things up for Tyler Lockett a little bit more. And then if you're just looking for complete ceiling, I think he probably got to go. I don't know how many options he needs, but if it's just the one, it's Tyler Lockett. But if not, if we're looking at multiple, I think Kiki Kuti makes a lot of sense here going against the Bengals. 7 targets last week and found the end zone. This would be a really good matchup for the Texans. And then I think you could probably look at Watkins. I think makes a lot of sense. I can't trust T. Higgins with Ryan Finley at quarterback. And so I think Sammy Watkins is due for a big week, and this could be it. Tyreek Hill is playing today, but wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play a whole lot. The Chiefs really have nothing to lose here. They have to win to get the first round bye to get locked into the number 1 seed, but it's not as simple as if they just lose out and the Bills win out that the Bills win it. That's not it. There's more. There's strength of schedule and all this other stuff that goes into effect on how this plays out, and so it's like a 1% chance the Bills have to win, even if the Chiefs were to lose out. So there's not a lot to gain for them to run Tyreek Hill out here and have him play his full allotment of snaps. So with that being said, I also think somebody like McCole Hardman, who could be available for a lot of people, would be the guy that I would also definitely take a look at if people are looking for straight upside today. somebody like McCole Hardman could get a lot more snaps than what we've typically been seeing. And going up against this Falcons secondary is certainly not something you're afraid of. They are a complete pass funnel. Their run defense has been really good this year, actually, and their pass defense has been where you want to attack them. So I think guys like that would also make a lot of sense.
You like Hardman over Robinson?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Because I mean, we're just looking for ceiling, right? Like it doesn't help you if Robinson goes out and gets 5 for 50, right? That's not really going to do a whole lot for you. Hardman could go 4 for 120 and 2, because of you utilize him the same way that they use Tyreek. So if they choose to limit Tyreek, which has been some of the stuff that's been coming out about Tyreek Hill, is that he may be limited, which makes sense because you're not going to put any chance that Tyreek Hill, has a serious hamstring injury, because right now it's kind of what he's been dealing with, his hamstring issues, and you're not going to risk him missing him for the extended period of time in the playoffs for a Week 16 game against the Falcons.
Yeah, I would have him ranked how you have these listed, Bauer, but Lockett would also be my top pick, and then Watkins or Kuti after that if you need more than one. Looks like we answered Hector's question for him. Although I will say, I think if you need floor, Watkins would be my pick.
Right.
Like if you need like floor, if you just need safety, because Watkins basically been going out and getting 4 for 60. He's been getting around 10 PPR points every week. That is more than what Tyler Lockett can say as of late. If you need the boom pick, it's Lockett. If you just need safety because you feel good about your matchup against your opponent and then the rest of your lineup, Watkins would be the safe pick. Tam joining us as always. Appreciate you, Tam. Pick 3, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, and a flex. So we got A.J. Brown, Corey Davis, Gage, DJ Moore, Henderson, or Bernard in a half PPR. Tam has been leaning Corey Davis and Bernard, and then needs a wide receiver 2.
What does Desir mean?
I think she's worried about the matchup for
right.
AJ.
Gotcha.
Look at Tam coming with all the facts on us, just giving you the full information,
doing our job for us, basically.
I would think, half point. I would think Henderson would be in my lineup here certainly over Gio.
Yeah, so like Henderson, if you look at the games without Cam Akers, he was averaging 15 touches per game, and only one of I think it was in the 4 games, Henderson out-touched Malcolm Brown in every one of those games but one, and so was averaging over 15 touches per game as well. So I think you have to figure that Darrell Henderson leads his backfield today, and I like him quite a bit. I can't trust Gio. I know people are going to see what he did last week in the 2-touchdown game. It wasn't an efficient game by any means. And I know they have the great matchup. It's one of the best matchups you can get for a running back against Houston, but I could see them falling behind very quickly and basically game scripting Gio out of this backfield. So I just can't trust Gio Bernard. I know, like I said, I know it's a great matchup, but I'm playing Henderson if I have the opportunity. But
he got more touches last week because they were winning. I don't see them winning like they were last week.
Oh, of course. Yeah, the game script was completely in the favor of him being able to get 26 touches or whatever it was. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I would definitely put Henderson over Bernard in that flex spot. As for
would you be AJ? Because I can't sit AJ Brown. I know it gets a really bad matchup against.
Well, they're going against it should be Jair Alexander, not. That was last week, right?
Well, no. So I think what people are talking about, because if you look at where he lines up, AJ Brown, well, yeah, because AJ Brown right now, it's essentially from where they typically line up for AJ Brown. He's likely going to see. They have Kevin King as what they have is who he could see in the most of. But I have a feeling that you're going to see Jair Alexander shadow AJ Brown.
I don't think it matters. He's too good.
Yeah. But Jair Alexander has been, an elite corner this year too.
Right, but this is likely to be a high-scoring game with the Titans having to pass to keep pace with Rodgers. So, I mean, between the two, Brown or
this game could be an absolute shootout. I mean,
right.
Yeah, for sure. I can't sit AJ Brown. Man, I love Corey Davis.
Yeah, I love Davis this week.
Like the question becomes, can you play both of them? Because I have to play DJ Moore. I can't sit DJ Moore at one of the wide receivers. So we have to make a decision. And I guess I have to go AJ Brown, even though I don't necessarily love. I think the matchup he's going to come, but AJ Brown is so good yards after the catch. And it's somebody that could house call one, and then that kind of makes it up regardless of that. So it does worry me because A.J. Brown is not somebody who's probably going to see 15, 20 targets, something like that, right? Like you're going to see on the other side of the field with Devontae Adams, where you can bet that in. Where he wins is in space and being able to rack up a bunch of yards after the catch and everything else. And so with this game, we're likely being shot. This is in a game where Derrick Henry is going to be able to go out and rush 30 times tonight. And that's not going to be this type of game. Tannehill is going to have to be able to throw the ball. And I think this is going to be a back and forth game. So I just can't sit A.J. Brown in this spot. So I love Corey Davis, but I guess I'm going to have to go A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, and then I'm going to rock with Darrell Henderson in the flex.
This is kind of like the same thing we were talking about before, where if you want to play it super safe, you could play both those Titans wide receivers and just make sure you have all those points from that game. But if you are trying to make an optimal lineup where you're trying to keep pace with something or go for super high ceiling, you cannot play two wide receivers from the same team in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Kev and go AJ, DJ, and Henderson.
3 for 3.
Wesley, full PPR, David Johnson or Tyler Lockett in the flex?
I'm going to go Tyler Lockett.
How many targets do you think Lockett gets today, Kev?
At least 10.
You think 10? I mean, if he gets 10 targets, then Lockett's the right play. David Johnson certainly isn't getting 11 catches this week. That was an anomaly last week.
This one's way closer than it should be.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the hedge once more and say that if you can handle a boom bust or if you need the boom bust, you go Lockett. David Johnson is much safer in a better matchup. No Duke. He's not going to get the 11 catches again. That was no Deshaun Watson just does not treat the running back in that manner. I think if you need the safety in the floor, you go DJ. If you went up against like an Evans or a Kamara or somebody like that, then you go Lockett.
Yeah,
that's how I would treat that one.
Exactly.
Tom Dunn. This is where we're at. This is where we are at.
Oh, my God.
Gurley lumped in with fucking Tony Pollard and Dario Ogunbowale. This is...
Todd Gurley's out. Like, I'm not – you don't play him. I don't care what you had to play. You're not playing Todd Gurley.
No, Gurley's out.
Because he's not even the lead back anymore. They made Ito Smith the lead back. I think last week he saw like 20% of the snaps. Like, that's probably all you can expect from him. It's probably 15 to 20% of the snaps. I ain't messing with Todd Gurley. It comes down to Pollard and Dare. And I don't even know if Dare is the starter. Like, I think it very well could be Divine Azigbo.
Yeah. I mean, the news on Zeke is that he's playing, but how much does he play really becomes the question. I'm almost leaning that he's probably quite likely to get re-injured or be super limited. So between those three, I would pick Tony Pollard.
Yeah, I think it has to be Pollard. My God. Imagine getting this question like week 2. Good luck to you, Tom. That the answer there is Pollard. Gino, we already gave this away. The A-Rob jersey went to Larry, but if you want to go back and watch at the beginning of it, basically we're giving away another jersey on Wednesday because we didn't realize some of the stuff with YouTube. So on Wednesday, we're going to be giving away another jersey. Make sure you comment on this video, just give away jersey, sub, something like that. And then we're going to put all those in along with the names we already have for Wednesday for another jersey giveaway as well. And I think now would be a good time. Let's give away a TFA t-shirt. Just going to use the same thing we had up earlier. Here's your winner of the Allen Robinson jersey. That was Larry. Going to pick another name here for a TFA t-shirt. And again, if your name comes up here, reach out to us. And that is Jared Tabata. You get a TFA t-shirt. Woo! You can hit us up either on Instagram, The Fantasy Authority, on Twitter at FF_authority, or you can hit us up on email, and that is the Fantasy Authority, the number 1 at gmail.com. So there is that. Aiden has another question here for us. Brandon Cooks or Tyler Lockett? I'm going Cooks.
A lot of people have Lockett on their championship roster, huh? I agree with you. I'm going Cooks as well. But again, it's sort of safety versus boom bust.
Ooh. Yeah, that was pretty tilting, right? With Fournette and Brady, because it was 40-0 at halftime, right? So they completely pulled him out, and then, actually, he didn't even get the last touchdown, I think, of the fourth quarter of the half, right? Because they put in
Vaughn.
I'm trying to remember how it went because I know they had that short field and they threw that second touchdown to Gronk, or maybe that was the first play. No, that might have been the first of the second half. I think it was the first part of the second half. That's right. And they put him in. So Brady still had a really good day, but it's not as good as what it could have been, right? It went from fantastic. Obviously, you're never going to complain about 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. But it could have been a monster day, something like we saw with Alvin Kamara. And so, but if you're in a 4-point touchdown league, with some of the guys that are playing this week and some of the matchups you have, if you're playing Jalen Hurts, for example, you could end up, not scoring as many points as what you could have. And Jalen Hurts could go out and drop a 40 burger, especially with his rushing touch equity. So it was a little bit tilting, especially with Leonard Fournette, because Fournette didn't have necessarily a great game. He did find the end zone. He got some pass catching work, but it could have been so much better for Fournette had he got to play the entire second half, but them pulling him right out at halftime as well. It was kind of weird too, because they left some of the other guys out there, like Mike Evans continued to play through the second half and stuff like that. So their decision on who they decide to play, it made sense to pull Tom Brady. You're not going to leave your 40-some-year-old quarterback out there for something to happen at that point. But why pull Fournette?
And then keep in Evans and Godwin and and everybody. I was surprised to see the full second half. I thought we'd get at least halfway through the third or something like that, but
I'm curious to how many guys they had active, though. Maybe it was something along those lines that maybe they didn't have enough. But that can't be, because I know they had Scotty Miller, they had Tyler Johnson, so they should have had enough to make it work. Yeah.
So this is going along with we're not starting. Would you basically, what this comes down to, would you throw in Davis over Lockett for Bauer? Said he needed the boom bust after he went up against Kamara. Would you put Davis in over Lockett? I think I would.
It depends on what you're looking for, because, I don't know. What is Corey Davis's absolute ceiling, right? And I think, so Corey Davis's ceiling is probably 25, maybe 30. I think he does have one game this year where he had 36, right?
He had that one game where it was, 11 for 150 and 2 or something along those lines.
Right, where Tyler Lockett's ceiling is probably, 40. But Corey Davis is much safer, though, I will say, than Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
But of him having Corey Davis, what were the other options that he had? And how many was he needing?
I think just that he was just looking for boom bust wide receiver. He didn't say, or at least I didn't see how many he needed. So are you still going Lockett over Davis?
No, I'd probably go Corey Davis, but I do think that Tyler Lockett still possesses the highest ceiling.
Yeah. Agreed. I mean, the Seahawks offense has not been great lately. I mean, what, Russ had less than 200 yards, less than 150 yards last week or something? I mean, it was awful.
It's wild how they went from so damn dominant the first half of the season to just this. I mean, but some of it's been their stubbornness and willingness to open things up. And it's like as soon as they got Carson back, they went back to 1990s football, or let's just run the rock and stuff like that. So they took him off the burner a little bit too quickly.
Marco, DJ or Carson?
Carson for me.
I'm going to go DJ.
I would agree.
So 2 DJs and a Carson there for you, Marco. Mark W. on Periscope. Tanny or Herbert?
Tannehill or Herbert?
I'm going to go Tanny.
Boy.
If this game hits the way that we think it's going to, I think this is easily Tannehill.
Well, no Keenan Allen today, right?
Yeah, that doesn't really worry me all that much. He didn't really play last week, and look what they did. I mean, He went out and destroyed. They're still going to have Mike Williams, which is really good for Mike Williams as well. But they'll still have Mike Williams. Jalen Guyton is also somebody that I think that should be come into consideration for people if they're desperate at wide receiver. And then Tyron Johnson as well is still there. Now, they also don't have Hunter Henry, which limits things a little bit. But again, I mean, it's not like we're talking about like Darren Waller or a guy like that, right? Like Parham, their second tight end that they have, I think, again, not really for season long, but if you're playing DFS, I think is an interesting option as well.
So I'm going Tanny for his first question. Who are you guys rolling with?
I'm going to go with Tannehill.
Nate?
Yeah, well, I think I'd pick Herbert here. I think there's more likely to be. I think that the rushing defense of the Packers is just so awful. So you could see Derrick Henry get 3 touchdowns this week, which would limit Tannehill's upside a little bit, unless this is a 70-point game or something combined. So I think Herbert against that just destroyed Denver defense is a better option here.
I could see a scenario where Herbert goes for 300 yards and no touchdowns. I mean Tannehill rather, but I'm still going to rock with Tannehill. Got to figure he finds the end zone outside of the 5-yard line for the passing game. And then Mark also needs 3.5 PPR between Higgins, Tyron Johnson, Kev, who you just mentioned, Hooper, Malcolm Brown, Ito Smith, Dare, and Snell.
Ooh. Digging deep.
Well, if we only need 3, I can lock in Hooper. With all the options they have, if they're missing, like Hooper's going to see a ton of targets in this game. So I like Hooper.
Mm-hmm.
And Snell is interesting because I guess today they said that they're actually going to be increasing the amount of touches that Snell gets, and he could end up being the starter over James Conner. I don't get it. Like when I watch Benny Snell, like it looks like he's running quicksand. Like there's not that much explosiveness to him. Like he's not an exciting guy. If you want to give somebody an opportunity, why not give the guy that you just drafted this year and Anthony McFarland? an opportunity to see what you got in him. Give him an expanded role or something like that. But I still think, no matter what, James Conner is a better running back than Benny Snell is. But regardless of that, I'm not. I think you go Tyron Johnson, Hooper, and I guess you go Higgins. Because there is nobody you're afraid of on the Texans side. Like, there's not a single corner that worries me one bit against Higgins. They're going to have to throw the ball. No Tyler Boyd, so that's going to be more targets for T. Higgins in this offense. So I'm going to go Higgins, Johnson, and Hooper.
Yeah, Malcolm Brown, Ito Dari are just out for me. So it's really just Higgins, or do you believe that Snell's going to get enough workload in this sort of increase, but not really the starter role? I don't like that uncertainty. So give me the sure thing with Higgins. I agree completely with Kev's 3.
Yeah, it's going to be the first 3 for me as well. The other one I was tossing around was potentially Ito, just with KC's run defense, but if they're going to be getting Hill and Gurley involved as well, even in a limited role, I think the first 3 there is where you're going to go with, Mark. We already got this one, didn't we? We already got this one. Eduardo wants to know Tyron Johnson or Mike Williams to replace Hill, or would you just roll Tyreek, Kev?
I'm still running Tyreek.
Yeah.
Like, I know that he can be limited. I get all of that. The only concern is do we get Clyde Edwards-Helaire where we think he's going to play, and then like Clyde Edwards-Helaire sat on the bench or sideline the entire time carrying his helmet and never saw a single snap. I don't think that is going to happen. So even a quarter of Tyreek Hill is better than most of these guys. Like, we've seen what Tyreek Hill can do in a quarter, right? 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like this dude could house call the first drive of the game and outscore both these guys. So I can't get cute and sit Tyreek Hill in the week that matters the most.
Yep, completely agree. That would be way too cute to sit Hill, just because there's some rumors that he may not play his full allotment. It could be 80% of the snaps. You're always starting Hill with that many.
Let's say, for the sake of the argument, that Eduardo is just hell-bent on not playing Hill because he is scared. Because we do get those ones all the time where people ask us questions and they still go with the opposite of what we say. So let's say that he's dead set on not starting Hill.
But just pretend that Hill's out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who would you go with?
Maybe Mike Williams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Easy.
So Eduardo, if you were super afraid to play Hill, I think Hill is also the play. But if you don't want to mess around with it, that's obviously your call. Mike Williams would be the option to go there. John Wood wants to know Gage or Cody.
I think Atlanta's going to be playing catch up most of this game, so I think I like Gage here.
Kev,
I'm going to go QT. It's really close. I think they're both really good plays today. I think they're both really good options to have, but I'm just going to lean a little bit more into QT. We've seen Matt Ryan and this offense struggle in games without Julio. I know they're coming off a game where they torched the Bucs secondary, but this Chiefs defense, especially at home, is pretty good. Their secondary is really good. They've been good against opposing wide receivers this year, and so I would just lean more towards QT, who is facing Cincinnati, and is not going to see the only corner that Cincinnati has that's even worth a damn. So
QT for me as well. Marvin Hall, a viable option today. Again, if you haven't heard, basically all of Cleveland's pass catching options outside of Austin Hooper have been placed on the COVID list. So we're looking at like Marvin Hall, Derek Wellies as the options that are coming up from the practice squad. So do you think Hall is a viable option against the Jets? If you're debating Hall over Gage or Cody, I would not. But just in general, Kev, would you be willing to plug in Marvin Hall championship week?
If you don't have any other better options, sure. I mean, he could. We've seen in times in the past when he was with the Lions have decent games. So he is certainly in the range of outcomes for him. It's getting the Jets. The Jets are fucking awful. The Browns, and Baker Mayfield has been running extremely hot over the last month. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in all of football, right? And so it is frustrating because I was really excited to play some Baker Mayfield today in DFS and with Jarvis Landry and Rashard Higgins. But now, obviously, those aren't options. But I still think that with some of these options they have, that this can still be an effective passing game. It's not your expectations shouldn't be as high as what they once were before this, but I think Marvin Hall can still get you 5 for 80 and a touchdown for sure.
Yeah, it's viable. I would be nervous. The Browns are already run heavy. I think that they have an even heavier tilt in that direction in this game. They should theoretically be ahead against the crappy Jets. So I could see this being they may not throw the ball 30 times. So I don't want to touch that if I don't have to.
St. Brock, Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. This one is Allen for me.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's closer than what it probably should be, but I'm gonna go Josh Allen. And just a little thing for next year is if you have both of these quarterbacks next year, you should have traded them already. There's no reason to have both of these quarterback options and on your bench where you easily could have traded one of them for some other pieces. But regardless of that's neither here nor there. I would go Josh Allen. I know they're playing New England, but they're missing Stephon Gilmore, which is a massive blow to this offense or for that defense. The rest of their defense is suspect to begin with. The run defense is absolutely horrendous. And I can't sit Josh Allen. Josh Allen has been elite this year. Not that Lamar Jackson hasn't, but I will say that the Giants' defense has been decent this year. It's probably the only reason that they're actually even have 5 wins, to be honest with you, because their offense has not certainly been that capable of a group. So I'm going to go Josh Allen.
Completely agree. I think wasn't this the first meeting between the Bills and the Patriots? Wasn't that a game that John Brown kind of got injured halfway through it? So Josh Allen has that guy just kind of opens up that defense, takes some of the pressure away from Stephon Diggs, and Gilmore obviously not being able to shut down Diggs is going to mean big day for him, I think. So the Bills love passing. Allen's going to get probably 40, 50 yards on the ground on top of it. I think the upside's much higher with Josh Allen.
This one for Austin. He's worried about A-Rob's hammy and A.J. Brown's ankle and the weather. Would you start Gio Hilton or Corey Davis over either of those? So over either A-Rob or A.J.?
No. I am not worried about Allen Robinson one bit. This is the best matchup that you could get against this The Jaguars have allowed a 100-yard receiver, I think it's in 8 of their last 9 games, and in the one game that it didn't happen was last week where Marquise Brown had 98 yards receiving. It's also, if you believe in narratives, a narrative game because it's the revenge game for Allen Robinson playing the Jaguars for the first time since he played there previously. But I am not sitting Allen Robinson under any circumstance because this is, as we say in DFS, a nut matchup.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about the weather either. While there might be a little snow, certainly the grounds crew in Green Bay is used to snow up there, and the winds aren't expected to be that high. Wind has a much bigger factor on the passing game than precipitation generally. The winds are only supposed to be 13 to 16 miles per hour. So it's once you get to that 20, 25 mile per hour threshold that it really starts to affect the passing game. So don't worry about the passing game from the weather standpoint for A.J. Brown.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nailed it.
This one coming from Jenna, the ER nurse. First of all, thank you, Jenna. PPR, who do I start? Zeke or Gio Lev Bell?
I'm thinking. You think that was supposed to be Zeke / Pollard? I don't know. Either way.
Yeah, it's the same player.
It is wild that this is what we're at with Zeke. Like, but I'm not playing Zeke. Can't do it. I don't know how much he's going to play. He's looked legitimately terrible this year. Like he looks like he has no business being on that football field right now. Now, maybe we find out after the year that he has, a bunch of injuries that he's been playing through, and that's why he's looked the way that he has. Because he looks like he's fallen off a cliff a little bit here, right? And Tony Pollard looks like the best running back of this backfield and should be the lead back. Now, again, I wouldn't be surprised at all because this is what happens after the year. All of a sudden, we find out this dude's playing through all of these injuries because he is one of those guys who prides himself on playing every single game. I think that was the first game he's ever missed, not being a suspension last week. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's what we find out. We'll have to wait and see there with Zeke. But that being said, I'm going to play Lev Bell is who I'm going to go with. He is going to be the starter. Now, again, like I've said, Atlanta's run defense has been really good. They're top 5 in rush DVOA this year. But this is also the Chiefs' offense. They can get him down into the end zone, to the goal line, and let him rush it in. The good thing about the Chiefs, you don't really have to worry about once they get to the 1-yard line. They're either going to throw it. You don't have to worry about Patrick Mahomes because they are not going to let Patrick Mahomes do a QB sneak. He has not done a single QB sneak since he dislocated his knee last year. That's the last time it's happened, and it won't happen again because they're not going to risk that with him. So without Clyde Edwards-Helaire, now they're still going to work in Darrell Williams. Like, you're going to see Darrell Williams, and you're probably going to see Darrell Williams on third down some too, because they trust Darrell Williams a little bit more in terms of pass protection and being able to pick all that stuff up. Andy Reid spoke this past week about Le'Veon Bell, about how great he is, but he hasn't picked up all of the stuff that they want him to do, they want him to be able to do in that offense. And so while that is slightly concerning, I'm going to go with a guy who is in the Chiefs offense, who is in one of the best offenses in all of football, versus a guy who is playing Zeke, who is playing Philly, who still have one of the better run defenses in all of football, and then Gio, who's playing the Texans, who can get game scripted out of this game. So I'm going to go Le'Veon Bell, and it's pretty simple for me.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer.
Yep, go with Lev there, Jenna. Good luck to you. In a standard league for Charles, Zeke, Pollard, or Moss, I'm just going to go Moss. I don't want to dick around with that Dallas situation. Moss has the better matchup. The only thing you have to worry about there is getting vultured by Josh Allen. I think he and Singletary will do enough that, neither of these are high. None of these options are high ceiling plays. Zeke or Pollard with splitting touches going in that matchup. But to me, I'm gonna take Zack Moss here. Never thought I would.
If Zeke was out, like, Pollard would be a top 10 running back for me this week. If Zeke was out, like, I'm locking him in top 10. Because his pass catching role that he's going to get, like we saw last week, like there's enough there for Pollard. Like, I'm locking him in there. But with Zeke's presence out there, I don't know how this is going to play out. Like, I don't know if they're going to be a true 50-50 split. I definitely think I don't think there's any situation where Zeke is going to get 70 or 80% of the touches in this backfield. I don't think that's going to happen. Because we also have to consider that the Cowboys aren't out of the playoffs here. As crazy as it is, they're still not out. Every team in that division has a shot at the playoffs. And it's really going to come down to these last 2 weeks of how this is going to shake out. I almost think, because the game we probably get next Sunday night is going to be one of these shitty-ass 4 teams to try to make it into the playoffs. Is likely what's going to happen.
Having said that, who's your pick?
I want to say Zach, and I want to say Zack Moss, because we know that the Patriots' run defense has been terrible this year, and they continue to get gouged on the ground. But I don't know if they're going to commit Zack Moss to 20 touches in this game. Because if they did, it's Zack Moss, and you don't even look back, because this is that good of a matchup.
So I noted this on the trends video this week. Zack Moss had 13 carries last week, and 7 of them came on the second to last drive of the game. So he was basically not involved until they were up by like 25 points. So I don't love Moss. It was actually Devin Singletary who got a touchdown earlier, but that was called back due to some penalty. I think it was a holding call. Moss is probably the safest because even if he is in a situation like that, where I just described, where he gets 13 carries, but 7 of them happen at the end, that might be fine. I mean, he ended up with 80 yards because he touched the ball, and he touched the ball because the team was so far ahead, which is what I project for this game. I think the biggest upside, and this is sort of a big is if Pollard somehow just takes the lead because Zeke is completely ineffective with this calf injury, and he just ends up essentially doing what he did last week, even though Zeke is suited up. So if you really want to swing for the fences, it's Pollard. If you want something safe, it's Moss, and I am not touching Zeke at all this week.
Ryan, Vaught, Hunt, or Carson?
I'm going Hunt.
Yep. Just like we talked about earlier, I don't think Hunt's coming off the field today.
Would it change your opinions if this was a standard league?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Our guy, Dark Winner, need one of these in a half PPR. Gage, Hilton, Johnson, John Brown. He is in desperation mode going up against Kamara, Allen, Kelsey.
I don't know that Dalvin Cook killed you, but compared to the 40 more points Kamara scored, that's still.
John Gruden is such a fucking moron too. Like, you score the touchdown there and not have to, you know what I mean? Like, it was, I don't know. Well, that late game management last night was fucking stupid. You have him score, you go for the 2-point conversion, and then at that point, the best they could do, I mean, they ask them to score a touchdown in 19 seconds versus just getting to the 40-yard line to kick a field goal to beat you. It is so different, right? Like, you just score the touchdown and make them have to score a touchdown in 19 seconds, you fucking moron. Like, I get it that it's a low probability, but the chances are of saying, okay, 19 seconds, then being able to get a field goal or a touchdown. Like, the field goal is substantially higher than what a touchdown is. So you just let Josh Jacobs score that touchdown there at that point. Regardless, I don't know. I can't believe they're paying that man $10 million a fucking year to run a franchise. It's baffles me. He has been terrible as a head coach, and he continues to be.
And locked in for like 3 decades as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Out of that group, I'm going to go John Brown.
Hmm.
Oh, no. I'll go. Give me Russell Gage.
We may not help you at all here, Dark Winter, because I think my guy would be Hilton. I know they're playing the Steelers, but the Steelers defense is beat up right now. They probably run a lot though with Jonathan Taylor. That's where they've been getting gouged the worst, is through the running game with all their linebackers missing action. So yeah, you're probably right, Kev, that Gage has the highest ceiling here, but I would probably play Hilton from that group.
Well, there you have it. No help at all on championship week from I do think Gage has the highest ceiling, but I think it's also like the lowest percent of the highest ceiling, if that makes sense. Because there definitely is a scenario where Gage goes out and has 5 for 110 and 2, or 8 for over 102. But I like John Brown in this matchup. They held him back last week. He was practicing last week, but they held him out because of his conditioning. So he should be good to go going up against the Pats. No Gilmore. I like this as a bounce back spot for John Brown. Good luck to you, Winner. Hopefully you can overcome the Kamara Kelsey onslaught there. Matt Solis also faced Kamara. He also faced Gaskin as well. Start Mike Davis or pivot to Mooney or Marquez Valdez-Scantling. For me, that's going to be MVS. I don't think Mike Davis isn't going to have the kind of outcome to overcome Kamara and Gaskin. I don't like that matchup for him anyway. We talked about that a little bit earlier. I know Mooney scored back-to-back weeks, but his targets have been like 6, 5, and 2, I think, over the last 3 weeks. So give me MVS tied to Aaron Rodgers in a matchup where Rodgers should have to keep throwing with the offense of Tennessee pushing that as well.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's a complete long shot, but Davis is playing the Washington football team, whose defense has been really, really good. I think he struggles to get it going on the ground. The best chance you have of getting back in this matchup is somebody with just enormous upside with deep throws, and that's MVS.
I'm going Darnell Mooney.
Well, you've been outvoted. So there's 2 for MVS from us, Matt, and 1 Kev's going to go Mooney. The MG. Should I start Brandon Cooks over Amari Cooper in the flex? I would.
Yeah, I think I would too.
It's really close because I like this matchup for Amari Cooper going against Philly. Philly's secondary is awful, and you beat them through the air. And so I like Amari quite a bit today. I would ask, is there a way you can play both of them? Because I think they're both top 20 options today. So if there is a scenario where you can play both, that's what I would look into. But I would probably lean towards Brandon Cooks, but I think that Amari is definitely in play as well.
Mini Jordan 718, DJ Moore, Deontay, or Singletary?
I'm going to go DJ Moore, and it's super. I have DJ Moore at 13, and I have Deontay at 14. So I like them both. And again, this would be another question: can you play both?
I would have them ranked how you have them listed out here, Jordan. It'd be Moore, Deontay, and then Singletary. Pranesh coming through with the first kicker question. Nate, this one's going to you. Q or Santos?
So I don't play in any leagues that have kickers. So my first piece of advice to you would be to join the revolution and get rid of those kickers from your league. There's no real skill involved in picking kickers. So you're gonna have to make sure I know this. Santos is the Chiefs kicker, right?
Bears.
Okay. See, I don't play
Nate knows about the kicker position. Santos
so don't listen to me.
Kicker like 3 years ago.
Yeah, see, there we go. The other one then. Gone way cool.
I want to go Santos.
I actually have Koo ranked 4th.
Of the kicker rankings you just did 30 seconds ago, or
no? I actually have them. I actually have kicker rankings.
Well, I guess I should have asked you then. So you're going Youngway?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go, Pranesh. We have I didn't realize it, but Kev coming through with the kicker rankings for you. Noel coming through. Sit one of these. Gage, Robbie, T, or Cutie.
Sit one. Higgins.
Yeah.
Agreed. Sexy Surfer with that pose on that crotch rocket. Kev, do you have Zerline above Koo?
I do not.
So there you go. If I would have known you had kicker rankings all year long.
I've had them all year long.
See, things you find out in week 16. My child is laughing at you, Kev. Lucius has a question. Would you start Logan Thomas or Mark Andrews this week? Helped Lucius out last week in the ship. That's what we're doing here. We appreciate you joining us. We've definitely seen your name in here before, Lucius, so appreciate all the support. But for tight end, who are we rolling with Logan or Andrews?
This is much closer than it should be, but
yes.
You don't have Terry McLaurin, so it's like Cam Sims, Steven Sims, Logan Thomas, who saw 15 fucking targets last week. But I'm still going to go Mark Andrews.
Yeah, I mean, you still have Dwayne Haskins starting. That was just announced. So I don't trust that guy or anyone tied to him.
And Alex Smith is inactive too, so we're not going to get a Ryan Fitzpatrick savior out of Alex Smith either.
Yeah, it'd be much closer if Smith was playing.
Yeah,
maybe in a full PPR, would that change your mind? It might for me, because Thomas is almost certain to see more catches than Andrews this week. I just think it's highly unlikely he sees more touchdowns.
If it's a full point PPR, I think you can consider it.
Yeah,
I mean, he could legitimately see another 15 targets today, and he could go 10 for 80.
Exactly.
But I think the touchdown upside is much greater with Mark Andrews, like pretty much like you were saying. So
exactly.
There you have it, Lucius. Full PPR. Consider Logan Thomas. Half or standard. You're going Andrews. Pranesh has an RB2 question. Gibson, Malcolm Brown, Ito, or Sony?
Oh. So the word
is Damien Harris active?
We don't. I mean, it's the game's tomorrow, right? So I don't think we'll know today. Gibson is supposed to play, but the word from most of the pro football doc analysts is that he probably won't be the same level in terms of effectiveness. So I'd imagine his workload is limited. I think he's out for me. The best one might be Sony Michel, but yeah, like you said, it kind of depends on if Damian Harris is out.
Which you won't really know until it's too late. So I'm going to go Gibson. I'm going to roll Gibson. This is a really good matchup. The Panthers' run defense is terrible. If he's good enough to get out there and play, I would think that they utilize him. Now, could he go out there and 5 plays into the game, he finds himself on the bench again? Sure. But the Washington football team is fighting for their playoff lives here. If they lose, that really opens the door up for everything else that all these other teams have a shot at taking it from them. So they kind of hold their own destiny here if they win out. So they desperately need this game. Like Ito is somebody like if we knew that they were gonna commit to him 15 touches, I think he would make some sense. The Chiefs have been terrible against running backs this year, just awful against them. And but I have no idea how many he could get 10 touches today. Like I just don't know. I can't trust Ito Smith and what role he's going to have here because he's also somebody that can use the pass catching work as well. So I don't hate Ito Smith. Like I think Ito Smith is a viable flex option, but I think Ito Smith is the safest running back you have on this list. In terms of probably he should probably see somewhere in about 10 fantasy points. I think is a fair place to put him in at, right? But Gibson also has 30-point upside if his toe is good to go and he's actually good enough to get out there and do it. So I have to go Gibson just because I'm not going to sit Antonio Gibson in this kind of a matchup and him go off.
Yeah, it would be Gibson and then Ito for me as well, but I would slightly lean Gibson.
Because it sounds like Damian Harris is back, and that's why Sony Michel takes such a hit.
So let's try and rip through a couple of these. I've noticed we are a half hour behind on the questions. Per usual, but we're closing in on the last 20 minutes of the show. So Nate, going to throw this one to you, Tim Patrick or Guyton?
Go with Patrick. Tim Patrick's their preferred red zone target, so I think he's got a higher chance at a touchdown. Guyton's got the higher upside with the deep passing game, though.
Kev, this one coming from Juan. Bobby Trees or Henderson?
I'm going to go Woods.
Gonna come back to you on this one again, Kev. This one coming from our guy Tan. Pollard, Gallman, or Gio in a standard?
Oh Lord. I just don't know what to expect. Like, I want to say Pollard because I just don't know what the fuck to expect from him. You know, like
I think Gio's a safe pick.
yeah. I'm going to say this. I think the safe pick is Gio, but I think the ceiling is Pollard.
If, like Nate was saying, there's an instance where Zeke comes out, gets like 5 carries, and can't really go, then you're looking at the Pollard show again. Nate, this one from Sexy Surfer. This is a half PPR big money league, so don't fuck this up. Gage, Bell, or Hooper at the flex?
Give me Bell.
Hector, I think we got this one already. It is if you need safety, it's Watkins. If you need ceiling, it is Lockett. Another Tim Patrick question for you, Nate. This one coming from Kurt. Crowder or Tim Patrick?
Let's stick with Patrick.
Kev, we need 3 for Darius. Half PPR. DK, DJ, Dobbins, Hollywood, Hooper, Gage.
So Dobbins, I'm locking him in. I'm locking in DJ Moore, and I'm fucking not sitting DK Metcalf.
Right. Yeah.
Nate, this one for you coming from, is it Robbie Jeffries? Hall or Tyron today?
Hall or Tyron. So it's whatever the opposite of Kev says.
Robbie out here taking fucking time off. They can it's week 16, the most important day in the fantasy calendar, right? It's fucking championship week, and this motherfucker thinks it's fucking relaxing time. Step his fucking game up,
and then still has the time to come in and try and throw shade at Kev. That is just absolutely unacceptable. I'm going to go Tyron there.
Sure.
Pump fakes, pick 2. Nate, coming to you for this one. Starting Hurts and Ertz, by the way. Higgins, Tyron, Ward, Jalen Reagor, Marvin Hall, Darnell Mooney, John Brown. Rough week had McLaurin, Keenan Allen. Oh, boy, that is rough. So we need 2 out of Higgins, Tyron, Ward, Reagor, Hall, Mooney, Brown.
Yeah, so if you're definitely going to start Ertz, I think I'm going to take Ward and Reagor out. I think that makes you too suboptimal. I just don't like this Marvin Hall situation. I get it. He could be the wide receiver 1, but I could see the Browns throwing it 20, 25 times today and running it 45 times. So I think I like Tyron Johnson here with Keenan out. I think I might play Darnell Mooney here. I don't know what to expect from Robinson. He's not quite 100%. He should be great as usual, but you could see a little bit of an uptick in usage for Mooney.
So that is Mooney and Tyron there for you. Oh, and he lost Hunter Henry. Man,
ouch.
That is rough. Jair's holding it down for us over on Twitch. Kev, half PPR, Pollard, Lamb, or Gage?
I'm gonna go Russell Gage. I
Sexy
want
Surfer.
to do Tony Pollard so much. I'm so. If you want to hashtag nuts on the table, you play Tony Pollard and hope for the best, right? Because I think that there is certainly a scenario where he could still outtouch Ezekiel Elliott today and be heavily involved in the passing game as well. But it's just such a risky play.
Sexy Surfer throwing shade at Kev. Look at that. Tan always coming through with the nice comments. And that was live on the Sunday show a couple weeks ago that we told him to throw in Wilson. So glad you had that move to go with. Tam wants to know Metcalf or DJ Moore in the flex.
Ooh. I don't know how you can sit Metcalf. Although also Metcalf is your flex, that's pretty darn good. DJ Moore is I don't think you can go too wrong here. Metcalf could get the Jalen Ramsey treatment like we talked about earlier. Does he shut him down? I don't know that he completely shuts him down. So I think Metcalf's too talented to sit, but it's hard to sit DJ Moore in this circumstance. I don't know. They're like neck and neck for me. What do you think, Kev?
I would probably still have to go Metcalf. I do want to say really quickly too, at the shade that was just thrown my way. Imagine wanting to play a player who hasn't scored more than 20 fantasy points since week 5 and has been out here running 12, 6, 8, 8, 2, 13, and 7 as fantasy finishes. Only 1 week has he scored double-digit 2 weeks since week 7 of double-digit fantasy points. But it's crazy to want to sit a guy who's been a fucking bum for the majority of the year. Couldn't be me.
Also, I'm just going to start calling Kev Guy in the Chiefs hoodie from now on. That just...
You have a 50-50 shot. It's either a guy in the Chiefs hoodie or a guy in the Santa hat.
Right.
It's one of the two. Either way, you can't go wrong with describing Kev.
Oliver Stanford
Oliver Stanford. Bad weather in Green Bay. Should I set Aaron for Hurts?
No, but it's super close. I have Rodgers at 3 and Hurts at 4. So
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do it because of the weather. I would maybe do it because of the rushing upside of Hurts. The weather should not scare you. Aaron Rodgers played in 1 million snowy games, and he's dominated in a lot of them. But I mean, if you're down or something, I would try and get that ceiling game from Hurts just because he gives you that beautiful rushing floor.
Yeah, just looking at the weather report, just to post out here quick because we've had a couple of questions about the weather. If you just Google Roto Grinders weather report, it'll come up, and there's a meteorologist who kind of rates these games, and he has this one at orange/yellow, saying most of the snow is likely to hit before the game. Sustained winds 10 to 15, gusts hitting 25 to 30. So it's not really looking like it's going to be that big of a deal. It's whenever, like Nate was saying earlier, it's the sustained 25 mile per hour plus winds that you have to be worried about. It's only looking to be 10 to 15 with most of the snow coming before game time. So not that big of a thing to worry about. But like Nate was saying, if you need the super high upside and you're just swinging for the fences and you want to go with Hurts, I could see that, but don't do it because of the weather. Kevin has a question here. Gibson or Deontay Johnson in a half PPR? And it looks like Kevin saw a report that Gibson's going to get a large workload. Kev, you're the Deontay Johnson guy. Are you going Gibson or Deontay in a half PPR?
I'm going to go Deontay.
Nate, coming to you with this one, homebred. Start 1, bench 2. So we just need to start 1 out of Carson, JT, or Pollard in a PPR.
Taylor, don't be afraid of that Steelers defense today. The linebackers are almost all hurt, and they've been gashed on the ground. Gio Bernard did it last week. Jonathan Taylor's way better, and the offensive line in Indy is far better than the Bengals defense. So I think that Taylor has a great day today.
I like JT there as well. Kev, J. Lopez needs a flex spot PPR. Moss, Lamb, Higgins, Gage.
I'm going to go Gage.
David, the jersey was already given away. The winner was Larry, but we are also giving away another jersey on Wednesday because of a little bit of an oversight on our part. If you want to go back and listen to the whole thing, I did that at the beginning of the show. Your name, I know for sure, is in the list. Giving away another jersey on Wednesday, which hasn't been bought yet, but I'm going to get one between now and the live show on Wednesday. So if you want to be in the running for the next jersey giveaway, just comment. There were a couple in here, just put giveaway or jersey or something like that, so we can track that. Gage or Cody already got to this one. Standard and half PPR. Tam needs the safest floor.
Corey Davis.
Okay. Thomas Perez wants to know, is Hunt a good play?
Depends on what other options are, but yeah, I think he's a pretty solid play.
This one from Kevin Brown. Gio or JT? Already
JT.
have Kamara for...
Yeah.
Good job, Kevin. Good job.
Man, that has to feel so good. Like, first game of the week on a Friday, the Island game, and just watching Kamara go off like that. But yes, it is JT.
Yeah, imagine that, and then watching your lead disintegrate before your very eyes.
Oh, I was there at my brother's on Christmas, and he has Alvin Kamara, and we are playing each other in the championship. And the massive amount of shit he was talking, I just didn't say anything. I'm like, I'm not going to say anything, because if I come back and win, I'm just going to screenshot this, and I'm going to send you the old, how it started and how it finished. It's how it's going to go. But if I lose, hey, whatever. Regardless, I still get a nice little chunk of money. So either way.
Going to throw this one to the guy in the Kansas City hoodie. Is benching Metcalf for Bell crazy talk?
I think that it is a little bit. I get it, because it's tough, right? But there's still a scenario with Le'Veon Bell. That's why Le'Veon Bell is not like an RB1 or anything. To me, he's like a mid-range RB2, because I think people are going to tilt a little bit with Darrell Williams. They're going to give Darrell Williams work, and it's going to tilt people because Darrell Williams is someone that they have trusted. They've trusted this man all the way back 2 years ago in the playoffs, against the Patriots. This dude's out here getting a ton of run. So they like Darrell Williams. Darrell Williams is probably going to get third down work. They haven't been utilizing the running back as pass catchers as much as we've seen in years past, like they've done with Damian Williams, who opted out this year. So there is a scenario where they don't, and he doesn't find the end zone, and he ends up getting you 8 to 9 fantasy points. So DK Metcalf has a 35-point upside. Le'Veon Bell does not have that.
Another one for the guy in the KC hoodie, Lev or
Miles Sanders, and it's not even close.
Thomas has another question. Flex Hunt, Kiki, or Gage. Has Baker in over Russ. Metcalf still in.
You got to go Russ now. I can't. Baker is so, without all the options they have, you can't go Baker over Russ.
Yeah. So who do you like in the flex then? Hunt, Kiki, or Gage?
I'm gonna go Kiki.
Over Kareem Hunt?
Yes.
Huh? I would go Hunt, personally.
I still think there's a scenario where, depending on how this game flows, that Nick Chubb sees 30 touches.
Yeah, Hunt probably sees 20.
I don't know. It's possible. Sure, it depends on how the game goes. But we've seen games where they've grinded out the win, and Kareem Hunt doesn't see the field all that much and only sees 10 to 15 touches or something like that, and he's not as involved. So that's my only concern with them. That's why, with Kiki, I feel pretty confident he's going to get 7 to 10 targets in this game. And it's a really good matchup for him as well. I'll also say that with the Jets, I think this could come more on volume versus matchup, right? because they still have been really good against the run. Like, it is the Jets, but they've been really good. Now, I say that to also say them putting Quinnen Williams, who's one of their best run defenders, on IR also is a big blow to the Jets as well. So I think it's close between Hunt and Kiki. So you guys probably will go Hunt. I just think Kiki has a little bit higher of a ceiling, I think.
I mean, there's a world where I bet Dearness Johnson sees 10 carries. They run the ball so much today. They've got a fair amount of 2 tight end, 2 running back sets where Hunt and Chubb are on the field at the same time. So, it just depends. I mean, how much do you trust these practice squad wide receivers? I mean, are you going to put them on the field quite a bit? I just don't see it. We already got Kevin Stefanski, who's a run-first coach. This might be his dream come true. I don't have to play a wide receiver. Awesome. Cool. We're not gonna. This is everything I ever wanted.
Yeah, Mike Zimmer is very jealous right now. He's trying to get Jarvis Landry on a flight to Minnesota as we speak. Mini Jordan, Colts, Texans, Chargers, Eagles. If this is a defensive question, I'm going Chargers here. Wesley wants to know Hurts or Deshaun Watson and why. For me, it's Hurts just because of the potential game flow. I see the Eagles being able to push Dallas and vice versa, and not so much seeing that on the Texans side. So just with projected game flow, I like Hurts. Hurts might have a higher rushing floor and close to the same passing ceiling as Deshaun Watson. So I'm going to go there. Seth, I know we missed the prop talk this week. Tom did tweet out his picks. If you go on Twitter, look up at Dynasty Infidel. He tweeted out his picks. I'm going to put out mine as soon as we log off here. Sexy Surfer threw some shade, then threw some praise toward Kev for the kicker rankings. C. Chav wants to know Hurts or Josh Allen. Kev, what do you have to say about this one?
I'm going Hurts.
I agree. Nate, coming to you for this one from Patty Finnegan. DJ Moore or Tyler Lockett in a half PPR?
Take the safety of Moore.
And then going back to Pump Fakes, who had a bunch of those receivers, he's starting A-Rob. Would you still go Mooney out of this group? He needed to. You took Tyron Johnson. With the fact of starting A-Rob throw you off here a little bit?
It would, yeah. I think I'd pivot. I wouldn't want to start Robinson and Mooney.
Who you going to? You going to T. Higgins, John Brown? Who do you like?
I think it'd probably be. Oh, that's tough. I think Higgins probably. The Texans aren't great on defense, so I could see him getting 6 or 7 catches.
Last Fish holding it down for us on Twitch. Appreciate you always joining us. Still in that Survivor League, I see Houston over Cincy. I like it. I mean, depending on what your other options are, and if you have to do the confidence rankings that I know that some of those Survivor Leagues do, I think that's a safe pick. I don't see any way, even with Houston's awful defense, that Cincy is able to keep up with their awful offense. Ryan Schill wants to know Gage, Ty Johnson, or Cody. Sexually transmitted disease. Who you got?
QT.
The Cutie's on Cutie. Alexis Season, JT, or Deontay?
JT.
You have come to the right place with the anti-always play your studs talk here, John. We are not one of those groups. Worry about DK versus Ramsey. Gage or Marvin Hall instead?
So, without going on a rant, because I could easily go on a rant about that exact thing that pisses me off when I hear people say that. However, and then almost like it does irritate me because people will say that, like, but there's no like what is that? What qualifies your stud, right? Like for different teams, that can mean so many different things, and so and teams can be stacked and have 4 or 5 like borderline. They could be top 10 wide receivers on the year. Like, then what do you do then? Like, it's just a flimsy take of saying start your studs, right? Like, but like Marvin Hall or Russell Gage over DK Metcalf. Yeah. Like, if you have the nuts to do it, you probably go Russell Gage, right? If you have the nuts to sit DK Metcalf for somebody, it would be Russell Gage. But yeah, I also will say that I would probably lean DK because his ceiling is higher than both of these guys. It is a bad matchup. I think the last time they played, he got like 4 fantasy points. I think it was the last time the Rams and the Seahawks played, it was like 4. But so that's the way I would do it. If this is your team, you have to make the decision for yourself. If you so decided to do so, I would probably play Russell Gage. But if it was my team, I'm going to play DK Metcalf because he's probably one of the reasons that got me here, and the ceiling is just too damn high.
Yeah, out of this group, you're going DK, but we are not a start your studs kind of show. If that were the case, you just look up rankings and you fucking pick the top ones. We're not doing that here, but in that instance, it is DK. Crown trend, pick one, full PPR, Lockett, Robbie Anderson, Darrell Henderson, Gio Bernard. Nate, who do you like out of that group?
Oh, in a full PPR, I mean, I like Henderson a lot this week. I think he's going to get a lot of work. But they don't always use him consistently in the passing game. Malcolm Brown is on the field a lot because they like him as a pass blocker more than Henderson or Cam Akers. But so does he get enough work on the ground to justify it? I'm not sure he does. Just of note, the Seahawks have been significantly better as a defense lately ever since the Carlos Dunlap trade. That made a big impact. Also,
Adams being healthy,
getting Adams back healthy. Yeah, that was huge. So, I think the safety in a full point PPR is probably Robbie Anderson here. I just don't know that there's a ton of touchdown upside from him against Washington. If you need ceiling, Lockett in a full PPR, I think is a good play. He could see 7 or 8 catches and possibly get that touchdown if Ramsey truly does lock him up. If you want safety, I think Robbie Anderson is the most likely to get you 5 or 6 catches throughout the game.
Yeah, I would put Anderson over Lockett, and then that's how I would rank them going down the list. Yes, New Jersey on Wednesday. If you were just checking us out, just drop a comment if you want in. A lot of these names that I'm seeing in here, we already have in. I know Alexis Season is in there. I know Tam is obviously in there. Ryan, you're in there. Bauer, you're in there. Pump Fakes, I definitely saw your name as well. So if you want to be entered, another giveaway, not a new one. We already gave away the A-Rob jersey to Larry. So Larry, make sure that you get a hold of us somehow. Like I said, email thefantasyauthority1@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter and Instagram as well. You can reach out to any one of us if you need to find us on there. Hurts or Lamar coming from Crown Trend. That one is Hurts for us. Bauer, don't you worry, buddy. Off season, we have a lot of rookie and NFL draft content lined up. So the show is not going to stop. I know Kevin, the DFS guys, are going to be doing a bunch of the DFS stuff through playoffs. If you haven't done that, that's a lot of fun. So they will be going live and doing all their DFS content as well. And then we'll pick up with the rookie and draft talk, in a couple of weeks. So we have a lot of stuff planned out for that. Nate, would you be playing any of these guys over T. Higgins for Pump Fakes?
Is there some context here?
There was the one that had all the receiver options was starting A-Rob. You told him Mooney. So then we pivoted. Okay. Yeah, so we pivoted to it's Tyron Johnson and T. Higgins. Would you play any of these names over Hardman? I mean, any of those names over T. Higgins or Tyron?
I don't think so. I mean, we talked about Mecole earlier with the possibility that he's sort of the Tyreek handcuff. But I don't see it. Hansen, yeah, no thanks. AJ Green, no way. Yeah, stick with what you got. Pump fake thing hard today, by the way. I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you.
A3F, John Taylor, Juju, or Jamison Crowder?
Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan
Taylor. I was like, is this a Revolutionary War battle or something? All right, Taylor, easy.
Kev, are we going to be doing any other sports? I know you like
There's been talk about it. Some of the other DFS guys have talked about maybe doing baseball or basketball DFS. But as of right now, we haven't really solidified anything on that. But there, like you said, there's going to be a ton of content coming out over the next 6 months, right, to get you ready for next season. We'll be doing a bunch of player profiles on all of the rookies. So you can expect all of that. We'll probably drop in multiple videos every single day once we really start getting into the combine and all that other stuff. Free agency, we'll be covering all of that, what that means. And there is a fuck ton of free agents this year. Like, there is a ton of guys who are going to be available, could be switching teams, staying. So we'll have to, monitor, see what all that means for next year. So this certainly is not, this channel is not certainly going into hibernation. We will definitely be dropping a lot of content. And so, yeah. So, and like I said, I appreciate all the support we've gotten this year. It's been awesome. Like, our main goal was 1,000. Like, that's really where we wanted to hit, was 1,000 subs by the end of the year. It was kind of the ultimate goal, but at the same time, we also felt like that we, I felt like our realistic goal was probably like 600-700 subs, because we're talking about 4 months. Like, we were at about 100 in like July. And so, hard work pays off, and we really appreciate the community. I don't look at these people like subscribers. I feel like you guys this is our community, and, we are do whatever we can to help you guys out. That's why we want to give away jerseys. We only gave away one shirt. We should have. So let me say this. On Wednesday, we're probably going to cover stuff like top 10, early look at top 10 running backs, top 10 wide receivers for next year, stuff to look at for that stuff. We can answer questions. And maybe we'll do some like trivia or something like that to give away some more T-shirts and some more stuff as well. So everybody just tune in on Wednesday night like we always do. We're going to go live again on Wednesday, and we'll give away some more stuff. So because we got some more stuff to give away, another jersey, plus we'll give away some T-shirts and stuff, some more T-shirts and stuff like that. Make it a little bit easier for people to win. Like, first person to tell us, who scored the most points, whatever. And we'll come up with some stuff like that to give away some more stuff.
Should I be worried about Colts defense? We'll get out of here on this one. We have 20 minutes until lock. Should I stream Washington instead? I wouldn't necessarily be worried about Colts, but I do like Washington as a streamer. Any thoughts from you guys? Would you play Washington over Indy today?
I think I would. Washington has been really strong lately, but Indy's playing the they're playing the terrible Steelers offense right now. Yeah, stick with Indy. I don't think there's any reason to pivot. They got you here. Both good plays though. Both solid.
Again, we appreciate you guys. More giveaways coming on Wednesday. We will go live at 10 p.m. Eastern. Larry, hit us up. Jared Tabata, hit us up. You won the other T-shirt. We'll give more of that.
What are we going to do? I just want to ask really quickly, so people know. Like, if we don't hear from Larry in 48 hours, what are we going to do with it?
Yeah. If Larry, if you don't hit us up in 48 hours, we'll just give that one and another one away on Wednesday. So we'll do that. Let's hit these last two real quick. Star Wilson, Gaskin over Dobbins, and Johnson paid off. Nice. Need a flex. Woods, Keenan, Claypool, Marquise.
Well, Keenan Allen's hurt. Don't play him. I think it's Woods pretty easily.
A-Rob or Myers?
It's 1,000% Myers. Or Myers. A-Rob. It's 1,000% A-Rob. It's A-Rob.
Oh my God. All right, Andy, there you go. A-Rob. Hey, John Wood, the donate button is that subscribe button. We appreciate all you guys. Larry's being called out by Bob Villa over here. We appreciate all you. We're gonna jump off. Gibson or McKissick both playable.
You could, yeah. I think it's a place you could go.
Woods or Henderson?
Woods.
Yeah.
All right. We're dropping out. Again, comment if you want in on the next set of giveaways live Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Hope you guys have a great week. Get that trophy, get that money, get that championship, and we'll talk to you guys soon.